All right, everyone. So this is the Vilano Shadow Bike that I bought off of Amazon. I got it a little over a year ago, and it was around $350. I think $349 was the exact price. I got into biking about a year ago. I had a cheap Walmart bike. Not that this bike was much better, but it was a road bike as opposed to a street bike. And I rode it around for a while, and I really enjoyed riding it, and I recently upgraded. But I thought I'd do two things. What do you do with this old bike? And then I wanted to show you some of the differences between this bike and my new bike, and what are the price differences and what you get. So first of all, it's a good bike because it has disc brakes. In addition, some of the parts are okay, some of them are not, and I'll show you which parts I upgraded. I think some of the key features I wanted to show out and the things I've recently upgraded are the seat, the pedals, and then of course I added some water bottle cages. So probably the first thing that I changed was the seat. And let me show you the seat that came with the bike. This is the seat that came with the bike. It's okay seat, it's got a good shape, but not much padding, kind of hard. So I replaced it with this seat, which I also got off of Amazon, and I'll show the links for those at the end of this video. And this seat was only like $12 or $13 if I remember correctly. But it's a lot softer, a lot easier to ride. It's probably not good for long distance riding, but it makes it more comfortable. Added these water ball cages. I think I got two of them for less than $10, and they're aluminum. And then finally, I got some clipless pedals down here. And the clipless pedals are kind of nice. Takes a while to get used to them, but this bike came with flat pedals, of course, and after a while I sort of switched them to clipless. So some differences between this bike and my new bike is the width of the tires. These are 25mm tires. And I'll show you the difference between the 25 and the 28mm tires. But probably the biggest shortcoming of this bike here is the rear cassette. Right here, there's 7 sort of gears on the cassette. And the largest one here is what you would use for going up hills, and it's kind of limited. It is a Shimano group set. It's a Shimano Tourney group set. You can look online the differences between the different group sets. It's actually not a bad group set. It changes gears fine. But it's probably one of the places that cut corners. So this is my new bike. It's a Specialized Roubaix. Got it for around $1,800 on sale. It normally runs around $2,700 or $2,800. And of course, it's a lot lighter. I think the Shimano is almost 40 pounds. This is probably about half the weight. And then the major difference, of course, is the rear cassette here. The rear cassette on this Specialized has 11 gears, which makes it a lot easier to go up hills. So just comparing the wheel differences. It's not a huge difference, but you can see sort of the thickness differences between the 28 and the 25mm tires. And the wider the tire, I guess the more comfortable the ride. So overall, it wasn't a bad bike. I think the reason I was attracted to this bike online was that it had these disc brakes right here. These things are little metal plates that pinch. Most of the older bikes have caliper brakes that are coming up here, and they squeeze the tire here. And the disc brakes are a little bit heavier, but they also give you more braking power. So that gives you the advantage of what I'm going to do with this bike next. So I was thinking about riding my bike to work, and I did that a couple times. I live in the Bay Area, or work in the Bay Area, and part of that road or bike path to get to my office is gravel and dirt. And so, you know, these road tires are not ideal for road and dirt. So I was going to convert this bike into a gravel bike. And it's not a real gravel bike, but I think one of the key differences between a gravel bike and a road bike is the thickness of the tires. And one of the things that's nice about this bike is that it actually has a lot of clearance in the tires. So again, these are 25mm tires. I think I'll show you the key difference in terms of the, I think if you look at the cassette here, and then you want to see these disc brakes. It's this metal part here. But one of the things that will allow you to convert this to a gravel bike, not a real gravel bike, but a bike with wider tires that's more accustomed for going over dirt or gravel or bumpy roads, is a much bigger tire. And so what you can see here, the limitation in putting in a larger tire would be caliper brakes that would limit the size of the tire you could put in if they squeezed in over here, or clearance of a tire so you can put in a larger tire. So one of the nice things about having disc brakes is that it gives you a lot of room. And then if you can see here, there's about 1 centimeter, almost, not quite, of space on each side of the tire to the frame, and about 1.5 centimeters here that gives you clearance. And in the front tire space, there's actually quite a bit of room. Probably about 2 centimeters on each side of the tire that will allow you to put larger tires here and turn this into a gravel bike. So let's get started.